Hiya, hope you're doing well. Today in this Nectar Insights video, we're going to be looking into the top 10 films to watch whilst using a dry herb vaporizer. We've all experienced the feeling when someone recommends a film to us and we don't watch it, or vice versa, we recommend a film to someone and they haven't watched it. What's it about humans and their inability to take recommendations? Well, the truth is a lot of the great thinkers of all time are those who have listened and taken advice from those around them. For example, Jesus, Gandhi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, etc. So here's 10 more films to add to your ever-growing recommendations list. The films you watch when you're stoned have to be the right genre and the right feel. You want to laugh, you want to cry, and you want to be amazed all at once. Not only will we be helping you decide on a stoner movie, we'll also help you in the process of getting yourself one of these beautiful contraptions, also known as a dry herb vaporizer if you don't already have one. Whilst these films are only a suggestion, here at Nectar we can promise that if you take our advice, you're in for a journey. So quickly, before we look into our top 10 films to watch whilst using a dry herb vaporizer, let's first just let any newbies know what a dry herb vaporizer is. A dry herb vaporizer is an electronic device that allows you to enjoy weed, herbs, or concentrates without having to smoke them. The dry herb vape heats the substance in its chamber at around 200 degrees, which creates vapor to be inhaled by the user. Now you may be wondering what the difference between vaping and smoking is. So before we get into which stoner films to watch, let's have a little bit of stoner science. There are some major differences between smoking and vaping, so let's take a look. Well, first of all, smoking a joint or a cigarette is a lot more harmful for you than using a dry herb vaporizer. When you smoke, the joint is heated at around 900 degrees and this process is called combustion. Combustion releases dangerous and cancerous toxins into the body. Also, joints often include tobacco, which contains the addictive and harmful substance nicotine. Dry herb vapes don't use the process of combustion, and also they allow for weed to be vaped without tobacco. This means that vaping is a lot healthier. The strength and flavour of your dry herb is intensified when using a dry herb vaporizer. This is because when you smoke bud, a lot of the flavour and strength are lost during the combustion process, whereas at a lower heat, a lot of that is restored. Therefore, you might be surprised by the intensity of your hit when you first try a dry herb vape, which is why you should proceed with slight caution as dosage is key. Try using a weed grinder to be even more specific with the amount you put in. Now, let's get into this countdown. When you get high, the usual feelings are sense enhancement and euphoria. We've kept that in mind while curating this list of the 10 best stoner films to watch whilst using a dry herb vaporizer. In this crazy, beautiful, funny, and epic selection of films, there is a wide range of genres. We've researched, fine-tuned, and selected our choice for the best 10 films to watch whilst you get stoned using your dry herb vape. Some of these you may know and some of these you may not know, but either way, grab your weed vape, fill it up and get through these. Let us know how it goes in the comments. Starting off our list, we have 2001: A Space Odyssey, the epic one. This film has probably been on every single top films to watch when stoned article ever and will probably continue to be on them for centuries to come. 2001: A Space Odyssey is not only the film famous for its dramatic music, but also for being absolutely epic. This film was made in 1968 and predicts what life will be like by 2001. Unfortunately, reality didn't live up to this film's wild and futuristic expectations. It's 20 years after 2001 and we still don't live on the moon. How boring. The film unravels the origin of a monolith found on the lunar surface and is one of the most confusing yet engaging space thrillers ever. Fill up your vape, pull your blinds down and prepare yourself. Next up we have Shutter Island, the mind one. If you're a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio and his incredible career, then perhaps his involvement in this film is enough to warrant its inclusion on the list. However, this film is much more than just the annoyingly handsome Leo. This film has probably one of the most mind-boggling twists in cinematic history, and it'll only be enhanced by some nice bud. The film follows a detective as he investigates an asylum, or so you think. We'll say no more. Third on our list, we have Untouchable, the beautiful French one. Now, any great list of films needs a beautiful French one. Those of you who desire something foreign, classy, and beautiful when you get stoned, then look no further. This film is all about a disabled man who is looked after by a street-smart immigrant and the unlikely friendship that emerges. Sit back, vape away, and in the words of the French themselves, c'est la vie. Soul is another film that has just got to be included in our list. This is the Pixar masterpiece one. Now, this film is simply outstanding. As any Pixar fan will tell you, they simply don't make bad films. It's not in their DNA. Soul only came out in 2020 and it follows a music teacher who always wanted to be a jazz pianist. It asks the question, what makes life worth living? This animated film is funny, stone ahead weird, and brings a tear to your eye. Also, a bonus, Jamie Foxx voices the lead character. Up next, we have Lord of the Rings, the one that is actually a trilogy because it's so darn good. Now, technically this counts as 3 films, but sadly 12 best films to watch just doesn't have quite the same ring to it. Plus, Lord of the Rings is essentially one long 9-hour film, but it's split into 3. So if you're feeling a longer high this time, then a day of Lord of the Rings could be the most amazing experience of your life. It's a mystical adventure story that mainly follows 2 best friends who aim to destroy the deadliest ring created before it gets into the wrong hands. The music in this film, created by Howard Shore, is to die for. In fact, you could probably just close your eyes and listen to the music and have a great high experience. Coming in at number 6, we have Liar Liar, the Jim Carrey one. Jim Carrey is probably one of the greatest comedic actors of our lifetime. His physical comedy and characterization is unmatched. Therefore, it would be ridiculous to not include one of his films on the list. Liar Liar follows the story of a dad, played by Jim Carrey, who constantly lies to his son and is often too busy to see him. However, after his son wishes that for one day his father couldn't tell a lie, Jim Carrey's character faces the hardest day of his life. Everything goes wrong for him, but through this he realizes the true beauty of telling the truth. It's laugh out loud funny and cry out loud emotional. Go on. At number 7, we have Inception, otherwise known as the confusing one. Any Christopher Nolan fan will tell you that not only are his films often incredibly good, they also make very little sense half the time. Inception is no different. This film follows a group of people that have figured out a way to enter people's dreams and plant ideas in them so they think they've had them themselves. Crazy, right? Even crazier if you're high. The cast is also insane. Leo DiCaprio again, Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, and so many other amazing actors. Now, this is one that the girls can definitely vouch for. If you haven't already watched it, it's Legally Blonde, which others may think of as the surprisingly enjoyable one. This may seem like a very rogue choice, but actually, if this film doesn't make you smile, then something is potentially wrong with you. This film is a guilty pleasure choice and has been included as one that might surprise a lot of you when, and not if, you watch it. The film is about a girl, played by Reese Witherspoon, who is dumped by her lawyer boyfriend, and to get back at him, she becomes a great lawyer herself, despite never having been interested in law ever before. It will make you smile from start to finish, especially with the assistance of your Dry Herb vape. Now, in case you have lost count of where we are at now, it's now number 9 and we have Tenacious D, the Pick of Destiny, otherwise known as the Stoner one. Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny is one of the greatest stoner movies ever made. In fact, Jack Black and Kyle Gass deserve a lot of respect for how funny and engaging this film actually is. Great music and insane chemistry between the two of them makes this film one that would be hard to leave out of this list. The film follows the two as they form a band and search for the so-called Pick of Destiny that basically makes you the best musician ever. In the end, they have to fight the devil in an epic showdown, just like they probably did when they came up with the idea. Make sure to enjoy some weed when you watch this film. Now, the last movie on our list, but definitely not the least, is Midnight in Paris, the one that makes you want to go on holiday. This fantastic movie is by Woody Allen, and although Woody Allen is a controversial figure right now, if you live by the separate the man from the work motto, then perhaps you can still find the time to enjoy this magical film. The film follows a man who comes to Paris and is somehow transported to the 1920s past. He idealizes Paris in this time and does not want to return to his present. The film includes some of the most famous figures of that period, including Hemingway, Fitzgerald, and Dali. This film is a love letter to Paris history and has some amazing shots of the City of Love, as well as some beautiful music. So there you have it, a list of 10 new film recommendations you either will or won't watch. Let's hope that you do. But in the meantime, if you're interested in purchasing a Dry Herb vape, why not check out our selection on our website, which is linked below. In a world full of pandemics and potential lockdowns, what better time to sit around, get high, and watch some kick-ass movies. If you like this video, please be sure to hit that bell button so that you can be notified when we drop our next video. Also, let us know if you've watched any of the movies in our selection or what you think should have made our list. We love to hear what you think in the comments, so don't be shy. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one, guys. See you next time. Bye.